I'll come over here, and a lot of times this handle like help me just push this out so that I'm not like too far up, right? But what I really want to do is I want to be able to like use my hips to help me out. Once I'm here, we got two things that I like doing. Sometimes I'll push at his head and I step over, and when I step over I start pulling. Reason, yeah, that right there. They always like do that. And what it is he wants to get that off because I'm causing pressure. My knee is next to his shoulder, my foot's next to his neck, and my heel is pulling his head. So when I feel him, I start tracing his arm. He goes to take my foot off, and I bring it around. And we come around here, all right? So like sometimes I do like to test out the endurance, make him strain a little. So what I'll do is I'll square up again. Right here, rather than do this, I like taking up a lot of the space, and I'll actually go wrist to wrist. All right, so I'll lock it here. What I'm doing is I drive with my chest, and I'll drive towards the angle where his shoulder is at, and I'm gonna see, can I get a pain compliance tap here. I start driving and expanding my chest, and I go towards him, and I'll get the tap. It's a real uncomfortable one, all right? So, again, I was here, but he's forcing it. I go with it, and look how I get behind, right? Only reason why I get behind is because if I don't, he follows my neck, yeah, and he starts pushing. If I keep this block right here, and I go to move my neck, he can't follow it, all right? So now here again, I'll switch my hand, I put it on this side, and I take a step. I pull, because now he forgot about that frame. Now he wants to address the leg. So my triceps are already here behind his tricep. I go, boom, we hug. I'm all the way by his spine, right? I feel his shoulder or scapula, whatever you want to call it. I square up. Now watch the difference. If I go flat, his back can go to the mat. He don't have that same pressure now, right? So when I'm here, I bring this deep, almost like I'm tracing his traps, or sorry, his spine. And now I go wrist to wrist. So now when I go, look how much of the floor, how much of that space I took up. Now when I drive forward with my chest expanding, it's a lot more, I get a lot more pressure on it. Where do you feel it, Mike?
I just feel it tight here.
Just such a shoulder going into it?
Yeah.
So again, I think I was telling you guys last week, right? If you understand what a choke's trying to do, kind of like makes it easy. If I have head and shoulder, I already know my arm is cutting off that side, so I gotta figure out a way to get this shoulder into here, right? So by having him on that side and right here, that's what I'm picturing, actually. That's what I'm picturing. I'm not just picturing like smashing here. I'm smashing, smashing, smashing. It ain't doing nothing because I'm just trying to press to the floor. When I'm here and I'm expanding my chest, I'm thinking bringing his head and his shoulder together as close as possible. See, like even starts turning red because I'm picturing doing this. Once I understand a head and arm choke involves my arm and trying to get that shoulder in there, that's what I'm going for. If the shoulder ain't in there, well then I know I gotta use both my arms, right? So let's try that out. There's a little misdirection to try to get a, kind of like a mean little press.